the heart, and the blood vessels. Part 1, Introduction and Transportation. The circulatory system. The main function of the circulatory system is transport. Diffusion is not sufficient to meet the metabolic demands of cells. The circulatory system ensures that cells of large organisms are supplied with nutrients, oxygen, and cleansed of waste, as well as carbon dioxide. The part of the unit will consist of 3 parts: blood vessels, heart, and human circulation. Blood vessels. The circulatory system consists of 5 types of blood vessels. We have our arteries, we have our arterioles, our capillaries, our venules, and our veins. Arteries. Most carry oxygenated blood, but they all carry blood away from the heart. Structure. They are the thickest and strongest walls, consisting of 3 layers. These layers are the outer layer, which is connective tissue, middle layer, which is elastic tissue and smooth muscle, and the inner layer is our endothermium. Thick elastic and muscle fibers enable arteries to stretch, which the heart pumps, and recoil when the heart is relaxed. This pressure is called blood pressure, short form BP. Arteries branch into arterioles. Arterioles. These are just smaller arteries. They are just visible to the naked eye. Endothelium wrapped in smooth muscles. So instead of having the 3 layers, these just have really 1 layer. And part, so really your inner layer and part of your middle layer. They're able to constrict or contract and dilate. It's also known as relax, and this affects our blood pressure. So when dilation occurs, they're relaxed. It increases the inside of the arterioles, and our blood pressure decreases. When constriction happens, when we have contraction, it decreases the inside of the arteriole, therefore increasing the blood pressure. So if you have a larger space, you have a decrease in your blood pressure. You have a smaller space, you have an increase in blood pressure. Arterioles then branch into capillaries. Capillaries. These are the smallest and narrowest vessels in the body. Blood cells pass through them one at a time. Every body cells is within 0.13 millimeters of a capillary. So it's 13th hundredths of a millimeter. It's composed of 1 layer of endothelial cells. These are known as capillary beds, which we can kind of get the idea on the diagram. And these are networks of capillaries. They are present in all regions of the body. It is in these beds that exchange of nutrients and oxygen for waste and carbon dioxide occurs. 1 cell thick walls allow materials to diffuse through easily. Not all capillary beds are open at the same time. Shunting of blood occurs due to opening and closing of sphincter muscles. When contracted, the sphincter muscles prevents blood from entering the capillary bed. When relaxed, the sphincter muscle allows blood to enter the capillary bed. An example would be exercise versus digestion. So when you're contracted, your muscles won't allow blood to enter the capillary bed. When you're relaxed, like digestion, then blood will enter the capillary beds. For an example, venules. They drain blood from capillaries and then join together to form veins. Our veins. Most carry deoxygenated blood, but they all carry blood towards the heart. Same layers in arteries, however, they're much thinner. The middle muscle layer is poorly developed, so walls are less elastic, but will stretch more, less resistance. An empty vein will collapse, which is not so for an artery. Larger lumen openings than arteries, and when blood reaches the veins, blood pressure is pretty well zero due to the resistance in the capillary beds. This means that blood needs help to get back to the heart, especially from lower extremities where it's going against gravity. So two helpers that help blood and veins come back to your heart is, first, our veins have one-way valves to prevent backflow of blood, as well as veins usually are sandwiched between muscles, which help move the blood when they contract.